Hey everybody, welcome to another con support video. This one is on combining like terms with negative coefficients. I'm going to slide my little face over this way so I'm not blocking things as much as possible. And let's take a look. So this first problem is negative k plus 3k. So you're going to realize that hopefully at this point you guys are getting a little more comfortable. The idea that like terms are variables with the same term to the same degree. So when you're looking at a problem like this and you have negative k plus 3k, all right, these are both k's, right? They're k terms. So you've got a negative 1k, which is what that's really worth, right? Negative 1k when there's nothing in front except a negative sign, it's like negative 1. It's like a negative 1k, and you're adding to that 3k. And when you're combining like terms like this, all you have to do is work with the coefficients. So you just say, all right, I've got negative 1k, I've got 3k's. How many k's do I have in all? Well, 3k minus 1k is 2k. So that's really worth 2k. And you can always check it just mentally to see if it's going to give you the right answer, right? So pick a value for k, let's say 2. If k was 2, this would be worth negative 2. And then this would be worth 6. So we like negative 2 plus 6. What's negative 2 plus 6? Positive 4. Is 2 times 2 4? Yes. So if k was 2, this value of 2k would be the exact same value as negative k plus 3k, right? So you can always test it kind of to see if you got an equivalent expression, but ultimately all you got to do is put your k's together, right? So you got negative k plus 3k is 2k. So the answer is 2k. Let's do the next one. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. You make it a little bigger for you guys. Okay. All right, the next one is 5n plus 6 plus negative 7n. So let's write that out. So that's 5n plus 6 plus negative 7n. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to identify our like terms. The 5n can be combined with the negative 7n. Those are what we call like terms. So we're going to put those together. What's 5n minus 7n? Negative 2n. So that's really worth negative 2n. The plus 6 is a constant that just comes along for the ride. So that's as far as you can go. You can't combine n's and 6's, right? So this is an n term, like a variable term with n in it. And this is a term that is just constant, no variable. These are not like terms, so you're done. That's as far as you can go. So the answer should be negative 2n plus 6. Negative 2n plus 6. All right, next up, combine our like terms. So this one is 3. This is negative 4p plus negative 2, and then you're adding to that 2p, and you're adding 3. Okay, so you're going to combine your like terms. Remember, like terms are terms that have the same variable to the same degree. So this is negative 4p, and you're adding to that a positive 2p, right? Always keep the sign on the left with it. So this is negative 4p plus 2p. Well, how many p's is that? That's negative 2 p's. And then you've got your constant, which is going to be negative 2, and we're adding to that a positive 3. Who's going to win? Positive by how much? 1. So ultimately, your result there is just negative 2p plus 1. So that's what you write. Negative 2p plus 1. Okay, and then we go to the next problem. So in the next problem, we're going to copy it down. It says negative 7 minus 4p, take away negative 5. So once again, this is, so I can write this nicer. This is negative 7 minus 4p minus negative 5. Okay? One, you're going to look at and see what your common or like terms are. You've got constants of the opposite of negative 5 and negative 7. Let's resolve the sign here. Taking away a negative 5 is exactly the same as adding a positive 5. So you can think of this as negative 7 take away 4p plus 5. And then you're going to combine your like terms. The negative 7 and the positive 5 are both constants. So those are the two that you're going to combine. And ultimately, if you combine those like terms, what you're going to get is negative 4p that just stays the same. But then negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. So it's really going to be negative 4p minus 2. And that is the answer, negative 4p minus 2. And of course, that's the same as negative 4p plus negative 2, right? But when you're comfortable, you understand that taking away a positive is the same as adding a negative. And in this case, it's just simpler to have the 1 sign in front. All right, let's get into number 5. So number 5 here is negative k, and then you're taking away from that negative 8k. So these are both k terms, so you're going to combine them. They're like terms. The one thing you got to do here is change your subtraction to addition, or realize that a negative times a negative is a positive. So the real values here that we're working with is a negative 1k, and that's just a 1 because there's nothing else in front, so it's like negative 1. And then you've got the plus 8k, right? So really it's negative 1k plus 8k. Who's going to win? Positive by how much? And it would be 7k. And those are your like terms. It's pretty straightforward. So that's kind of how you do it. If you want, I can color code it again for you guys to show you that these two are like terms and they can be combined into positive 7k. So that's your answer, 7k. And then go to the next one. So for the next one here, number 6, we're going to do negative 4q, and you're going to take away negative 8q, and then we're going to add 10 to that. Now, you've got q's that are like terms that can be combined. You might want to rewrite your subtraction as addition or do true sign so we know the real direction everything's going as it's being added together. Either way, a negative times a negative is a positive, so this is like plus 8q, or change your subtraction to addition, it becomes adding a positive. So ultimately what you end up with here is negative 4q plus 8q plus 10. Now your like terms here, that means terms that are the same variable to the same degree, are going to be negative 4q and positive 8q. Well, that's just worth 4q, right? So the ultimate answer here is just 4q plus 10, and you're done. So it's just 4q plus 10. 4q plus 10. That's as far as you can go. And the last question is negative n plus negative 3 plus 3n plus 5. So let's do that. You've got negative n plus negative 3 plus 3n, and then plus 5. So what is plus negative 3? That's just negative 3, right? So you can think of this as negative n minus 3 plus 3n plus 5. Ultimately, I don't think it matters much. Just keep the signs on the left. So this is a negative 1n, right? And you're adding to that 3n. So negative 1n plus 3n, who's going to win? Positive by how much? 2. So that's 2n. Then you've got your plus negative 3, which is really a minus 3. And you're combine that with a plus 5. So it's like minus 3 plus 5. Who's going to win? 5 take away 3. Positive wins by 2, right? So the ultimate answer here is 2n plus 2. So just go over here and put in 2n plus 2, and you get the right answer. And that's how you do it. Hope that helped you guys feel more comfortable with that skill.